couple tunes there. The first one was called Sandy Boys, and that's a West Virginia tune. The second tune is called Highlander's Farewell. It comes from a man named Emmett Lundy, I believe. And what do you got?
So this next one is a song that I wrote, actually, and I wrote this during 2020. The River House, which was just down the road, they were doing this project that was sort of like the old telephone game, you know, where you whisper in one person's ear and it goes to the next person and it keeps changing. But they did it as an art project and a music project where one person, actually the poet laureate for West Virginia, began and wrote this piece and then passed it on to a visual artist, who passed it on to a fiber worker, who passed it on to a poet, who passed it on, and it continued through 12 or 13 different people, each person only being able to see the creation from the artist before them. So in the end, it ended with me, and I was given an Appalachian rap song that my mom wrote. and so from that, the inspiration I took, I created this song, which I call Mist on the Mountains, and during the time I was doing an apprenticeship under Joe, and we were recording my solo album, Fiddler Fair. Wait, no, we didn't put this on the album.
No, you didn't.
Nope. Never mind. But we do have my album for sale tonight.
It's on the other record.
It is actually on my newer record, Hemlock and Hickory. I do have it recorded on there.
It was evolving during
It was evolving during that time. That's right.
It still is.
Yeah, always. So this is my tribute to West Virginia.
Which we cannot see, but as leaves
herself what she was up to before she handed you the rap?
Yes, I didn't hear it from her. I heard it secondhand that I was going to be getting a rap song to work from. And yeah, it's evolved. I don't think I kept too much of the rappy element in there.
I was just going to ask if you could do it for us.
I need to work that up so that I can. Now everybody asks that. They don't sound at all the same. Oh, I think our next one, this is also a West Virginia tune.
Yeah. Tune made up by a man named Ernie Carpenter. The tune's called the Elk River Blues. When his home property, his family property for many years was flooded by the Corps of Engineers, this tune came to him, and that's the way I understand it, called the Elk River Blues. And then we're going to follow that up with another tune called the Shove That Pig's Foot a Little Closer to the Fire. Elk River Blues. So that first tune is, I've referred to it as a lament. And when we were decided we were going to play it, Dakota presents it in this very lamenting.
That's not the right.
Anyway, so I think that really draws the essence out of it.
Yeah, it certainly does.
That draws the essence out of it. That's great. So this concert is sponsored by the West Virginia Humanities Council. Is that the way? Am I saying it right? And this is Jenny Williams, who is representing them. They support this apprenticeship program, which we were fortunate enough to get involved in. Actually, I got an email from your predecessor, Emily, and it mentioned that they were having this program. So I sent a note to Dakota and asked her if she knew if anybody was interested. She said yes, me. So we did that, and so it started in March of 2020. That's when something hit the fan. So we were doing Zoom meetings, and then the springtime came, we were able to do it outside with masks, and we got through just like everybody else. But I'm thinking of applying for one and being her apprentice.
You're going through the same curriculum he took me through.
She certainly has taken anything I had to say and run with it. So I look at it as I had the privilege of just walking down this path with her for a while. Maybe I was able to point out a few things along the way, but she certainly has found her own things, and it's an honor. It's been an honor for me. Let's see, I need this instrument.
Yeah, you should play guitar on this.
So I grew up listening to the Critten Hollow String Band, which, if anybody doesn't know, it's Sam Herrmann, Joe Herrmann, Joe Fallon, and so I get to be with Critten Hollow tonight. And it's such an honor to play with all three of these incredible people and incredible musicians. And this next one is one that I grew up hearing as we were driving down the road, playing on cassette tapes and singing along to. And so I had asked Joe during the apprenticeship, I was like, I want to learn this song, and so I'm really happy with this.
It's called Where Grass Won't Grow. I got it from the singing of a fellow named Jim Ringer. He did it. It was a popular song in the 50s. Merle Haggard did it in the 50s. If you listen to that recording, every verse modulates up. We're not going to do that.
I have a key. Play any key.
Doesn't work on
I don't think it wouldn't be very comfortable on the fiddle either, would it?
Yeah, it's not, well, a capo certainly wouldn't.
So it's a ballad. It tells a story. So sit back and listen to the story.
And I see there's still folks coming in. There's a couple of seats up front if anybody needs them. So if you sit up here, you can take your fans and fan them this way. And yeah.
Where'd you get those fans? Oh.
Maybe if I tie one to my bow.
I would appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
I can feel that.
Jim's arm.
It's all the hot air coming through us.
There'll be more hot air going that way.
Just give us a minute.
All right, Where Grass Won't Grow. The dirt was clay, it was the color of the bloody moon. It was a 12-acre farm on a ridge in South Tennessee. We left our sweat all over that land behind the mule we watched grow after row, trying to raise corn and cotton on ground so poor. run by a kind old man named Mr. Brown. He gave us credit in the winter time to keep away the cold. When the wind brought the snow, trying to raise corn and cotton on the ground so poor the grass won't grow. There was one little store, I'm sorry, sing that one. The one I loved walked through those fields with me. She was a hard-working woman, true as one could be. But then one year a sickness came and quickly took its toll. Struck Katie cold. Now she lies asleep underground, so poor the grass won't grow. Stand here looking over this part of Tennessee. The fields are bare for as far as the eye can see. But on the spot where Janie lies, there's a beautiful sight to behold. Nobody knows why the flowers blooming on the ground so poor the grass won't grow. Thank you so much.
Sounded better than practice.
That's, yeah.
So there was a fiddler over in Mineral County. I think he died around 2003.
There is
Israel Welch.
in the ESP.
Look at this.
Wonderful.
Israel Welch. So everybody, and I don't know if all of you are aware, but Hampshire County has this very healthy following of this fiddle music, old-time music. So Israel was beloved over here in Hampshire County, and we all learned a lot from him, not just his music, but just how to be a good person, I guess. And so this next is, we just call it Izzy's Medley. It's 3 tunes. This first one is called Hell on the Potomac. So these tunes are apparently from a long time ago. So the Hell on the Potomac, that kind of makes sense, you know, because if you read the signs around Romney about what went on there during the Civil War, that certainly was some kind of hell on the Potomac around those parts. And the second one's called The Salt Sack Behind the Door. I don't know where you keep your salt sack, but they used to keep them behind the door.
Of course they did.
And the third one, I didn't for a long time know what it was called, so we got to call it Izzy's Polka, but it turns out it's a tune called The Crooked Stovepipe. And that tune comes from Canada, where Israel spent his war service as a radio man up in Prince Edward Island. He took his fiddle up there, and there's a lot of fiddlers up there, and he came back with a lot of that music. So, anyway, here's Izzy's.
the best tune of the night. They're not going to get to hear it. We're going to
No, Sam suggests to do it later. Because it's so good.
Right when we get home. I happen to sing it, so.
So, Joe and Sam, this is Joe Fallon, by the way.
We like you too.
This is Sam Herrmann. This is Dakota Karper.
And this is Joe Herrmann. Yeah.
I've had the good pleasure to play concerts in this church 2 or 3 times before, and I've been anxiously awaiting this night, that sometime when I had some excuse to get back in here and do this again, because it's so wonderful to be this close to my home. This is probably my favorite place to play music. I mean, what could be better than that? This is just perfect. There's no sound equipment, it's all acoustic, and it just sounds...
And you can hear everything, correct?
It just sounds lovely in here. It sounds lovely. And it's just the idea of this gathering like this is
It's a
wonderful.
room made for preaching.
Yeah. I think I'll do a little. So, as Critten Hollow, Joe and Sam and I have had the good fortune to travel to many places that were great, but one of the best places was we were invited to play for the Shetland Music Festival. And that's a wonderful place, and it's isolated.
Far away.
It's as close to Norway as it is to Scotland. And also, there's people from Shetland have been brought here to play over in Westminster, and Sherry and Phil Gallery have a connection with Westminster and Walt Michael, who brought those people in, and they brought what they called themselves the Shetland Heritage Fiddlers. So it was kids that were learning Shetland fiddle music, mostly from this man named Tommy Anderson. And
They
so,
came to,
Cape and Bridge.
no,
They're-
to
weren't
Romney.
They're in Romney.
We had a time of music there with them.
Right, so that was wonderful meeting them. But anyway, Tommy Anderson wrote this first tune that we're going to play. It's called "Duh, Slocket Lake." We say "the," but the slocket part, that is, as I understand it, diminishing, something that's going out. And the way I understand it, where this tune came about, Tommy Anderson's wife had died not too much in the past when he wrote this tune, and the thing that was the metaphor for him was, if you live in Shetland, you spend some time on the sea, whether you're an actual sailor yourself, but you will spend some time on the sea. So he was out on the water outside of Lerwick or wherever, and it was evening and the lights were going out, and as the lights were going out and he was witnessing this, and his wife had just previously died, that was how this tune came about. And the second 2 tunes are just tunes we picked up. The second tune is called Jackie's Yet Alive, and the third tune is called The Galley Watch.
It was,
I did too. We
It wasn't
kept
that bad.
messing up.
no, it was very cute.
I remember we were on the ferry. Basically, you take a ferry from Aberdeen, Scotland, out to Shetland, and we were coming back after this 10 days of craziness on the Shetland Islands. It was just gorgeous place. But Hamish Moore was there, and he breaks out the Scottish small pipes on the fantail of the boat as we're coming out of Lower Carver. He plays the Schlock and Light, and everybody on the boat was crying. It was beautiful. What are we doing now?
Going to the well.
Oh. All right, this is a song I believe I learned from the singing of Kay Justice and Ginny Hawker, who learned it probably from Mike Seeger, I think, who discovered this song somewhere down Texas, I believe, is what the story was. Anyway, it's called "I'm Going to the West." I also think I changed it a bit. And I did that on purpose, so that Sam and Joe and I had more time to sing harmony on it. So, yeah, it's called "Going to the West."
These are your songs, Paul.
Yeah.
I learned this from Paul.
You learned from it. You stole it. I've heard Paul sing it. That's why I said it's just a little bit different. The way I do it. That's fine.
Welcome back, Kate. Oh, West Coast, East Coast, yeah.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3. In this fair land, I will not stay. Here labor is in vain. I'll leave the mountains of my birth to seek a fertile plain. I'm going to the west. You say you will not go with me. You turn your eyes away. You say you will not follow me, no matter what I say. I'm going to the west. Years passed since we first met, and you became my bride. Now I must journey far away without you by my side. I'm going to the west. You say you will sing one like that. Go with me. You turn your eyes away. You say you will not follow me, no matter what I say. I'm going to the west. I'll leave you in when you love. It seems so bright.
that other one now, the one that we
Instead of
skipped.
waiting till we get home. Yeah.
This one also has a chorus you all can sing. Words you use every day, just in a different order. This one.
That's good. Still that.
Yeah. So you can steal it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Joe Fallon
I
says.
stole it from someone. So.
I've said that before. I think it's recorded on the.
She has proof.
Yeah. Okay. Are you joining us?
Yeah. Go ahead, start it off there. Jim.
Day all night.
All right.
Go home.
Yeah.
Nice, huh?
That's kind of fun.
You sweating yet?
That'll warm us up.
It's a little cool in here, so.
Now, we didn't drink anything all day, so we wouldn't sweat. Haven't eaten for 2 days.
Don't sweat.
What are we doing? Are we back on the list
We're
here?
gonna do this one next, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
This is another Critten Hollow one, so they probably have a Critten Hollow story to tell you about this song. But for me, this one's a really special one because when I was graduating high school, I was a little unorthodox, and instead of going out and partying with kids my age, I wanted to hang out with all the adults and play old time music. So we got together and had an old time jam for my graduation. that's what I would have wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what she meant to say.
But at that graduation jam, Sam and Joe sang this for me, and so it's meant a lot to me ever since.
May God bless and keep you always, may your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous, may you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy, may your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful, may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young. Forever young, forever young. May you stay forever young. Forever young, forever young. May you stay forever young. Anybody know? Bob Dylan.
Robert Zimmerman.
Here's another medley of some fiddle tunes. The first one, this is what we're doing, right? Yeah. The first one came into my house with my brother, I think back around 1974. He had this tune, and it stuck with me through all these years. He never knew the title of it. I've never heard anybody that knew the title of it. And
So if anybody here
if you know the title of it, let me know, because meanwhile,
You can make something
I figured I've carried this tune around for over 40 years and nobody else has ever heard it. And it's fair enough for me to give it a title. So I'm calling it The Orphan, because it's kind of an orphan tune. It's just,
you passed it on to Dakota?
yeah, so when I taught it to Dakota, it breathed a whole new life into it. So we're going to play that, and then we're going to play a tune called Mull Queens after that.
Yeah, it's interesting, when Joe and I get together and play, I've learned so much from him during his apprenticeship. And part of it has just been this joyful exploration of harmonies when we sit down and play. And so we got together maybe 3 weeks ago or more. Oops.
I didn't do that.
Very well.
We got together to create the entire set list for tonight and to practice. And so we sat down, we probably played 3 or 4 hours, and I think we only worked on this song. And you'll see why, but
Hopefully.
This tune.
I don't like it.
We just-
Not into the mold.
We're going to do a couple more for you, and want to thank. We can contact the students.
I don't even know what we're thanking them for yet.
Yeah, but yeah, everybody knows them.
Everybody knows Steve Terry.
They always deserve thanks.
Yeah.
So we have some CDs if anybody's interested in it. I don't think too many people who are interested in this anymore. Everybody gets stuff off.
Let's let them decide.
Yeah, well, you can decide. I hope you're interested. Anyway, there's some over here on this table, and there's a couple baskets around for donations that would support the musicians and the church. So if anybody wants to add to that, we won't stop you.
And this has been a privilege for me to be invited to join these guys, because I've been listening to them evolve over the last couple of years, and and working. And, you know, there's pieces in here that Critten Hollow has been known to do. And I've just given over my harmonies to Dakota for tonight. For tonight. So they were looking for a song that we could fill this hall up with, for you to sing with us. So they asked me to bring this song out of the closet it's been locked away for quite a while. Mr. Haney sings it pretty good in my house, but so it's a song written by Olabelle Reed many years ago, and it has a great sentiment. I'll tell you a real quick story about this. We would sing the song quite often back in the day, and we were at a gathering. It's at a funeral, as a matter of fact, at a gathering memorial service. And this woman comes up to me, who I knew, I won't name her. She comes up to me quietly and she says, "You have to do me a favor. When I die, you have to sing this at my funeral. But don't tell him because it's going to upset him." And then about a half an hour later, he calls me up and he said, "When I die." Okay.
Have they died?
You know what? Yeah, I don't know. Don't have to tell me.
No.
Anyway, so the chorus is "Sing Me a Song." Is when I come to the end of my journey, and I know it won't be long, as we all know.
When I reach,
When I go
When I cross life's, I'll have to sing it.
You'll catch
so you're gonna want to hear this song.
The other one follows. That's how the words will go.
And if you want us to sing it at your funeral, there's a list.
And remember, there are words you use every day, but just never know. So just remember, sing me a song. That's a real easy line you can remember at the beginning
Point
of
where it
every
goes.
chorus. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
Sing me a song. other's gear.
So the first tune is a tune I made up called Coyote Howl. And,
Which is on my album, actually.
how'd that happen? And then the tune after that will be Money Must. It comes down through Alan Jabor and the Highway String Band, all because of, what's his name? Walt Cook? Walt Cook too, but before that. Henry Reed, yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anyway, Coyote Howl and Money Must.
First one's a half hour long, it's a story about.
This is a medley of 6 tunes for you. I'd like to say, again, thank you to Jenny and the West Virginia Humanities Council for making this apprenticeship happen. This is the final piece of it, this public presentation to our community, and it's been such a pleasure and an honor to be able to sit with Joe and learn from him. And he's just such a fine fiddle player and a good person.
Please, don't. Stop. Don't stop.
No, it's really been such an honor to be able to learn from him, and so I'm really just so happy to be here at this point, you know.
Yep, I do know.
You mentioned that this was your second apprenticeship?
This was my second apprenticeship. The first one, I think I was...
the best.
This is the best? Who said that? My first one also with Joe, and I was about 11 or 12 years old, and so more than a decade
I was
later-
15.
I think I learned a
Coach us
lot more
right.
this time around.
Well, everything she said counts for me too. It's been an honor working with her. Well, not in the past, in a continuing way.
You mean it's a mutual admiration society?
Oh,
here you guys
yeah.
have?
Yes.
Something like that. Right.
Okay, what are you doing?
So, we're going to do a Hazel Dickens song. It's got a chorus you can sing along.
We won't tell you the words. We don't do that around
We
here.
don't tell the words unless we're singing them. It's called West Virginia, and it's about West Virginia.
And it's written by West Virginia.
Just a bunch of coincidences, I'm sure.
West Virginia, oh my home. West Virginia, where I belong. Instead of night and still and quiet, I'll slip away like a bird and fly back to those hills, place that I call home. Well, it's been years now since I left there. This life I have not what I hoped I'd find. Can't remember why I left so afraid what I wanted to do, what I wanted to see, but I can still remember where I come from. West Virginia, oh my home. West Virginia, where I belong. In the dead of night and still the quiet, I slip away like a bird and fly back to those hills, place that I call home. Well, I paid the price for leaving. This life I have not what I hoped I'd find. Let me live in love, let me cry, and when I go, won't you let me die among the friends who'll remember when I'm gone. West Virginia, oh my home. West Virginia, where I belong. In the dead of night and still in the quiet, I'll slip away like a bird and fly back to those hills, place that I call home. Home, home. Oh, I can see it so clear in my mind. Home, home, home. I can almost smell the honeysuckle vine. In the dead of the night and still in the quiet, I'll slip away like a bird and fly back to those hills, the place that I call home. Oh.
You can go home now.